Everybody, this is day 1906 days and taken to a location there on Fort Bliss, a room that was soundproof, and his life was taken from him brutally. And his body was stolen and dismembered and trafficked across the border into Juarez. We are coming on very late tonight because of breaking news. We received confirmation that the CIA is operating in Juarez, and we will let everyone know more tomorrow. But they took La Plata, I hope I have his name right, into custody. He is a lead Sinaloa FTO. Uh, well, he's a leader with the, up to no good of this Sinaloa cartel that is connected. It overlaps with the Plenitude Crematorium. This is what is really important. Of course, they are, trafficking, of course. You have trafficking everything and the fuel theft. You have the trafficking of remains and of organs and of babies, humans, everything. And so this is really a big deal that now we know that the CIA is working in conjunction with the state. They're having, there's the infiltrators over there, um, the mutineers, the ones that want the taxpayers to pay their wages without doing their duty, that are absolutely tied to the cartel, like Cesar Hargi, Manuel. Carlos Manuel Salas. These are people in the AG office, like Cesar Pineche, right? These are up to no good officials that are absolutely, they're dirty. They're dirty, and they're dirty with the FTOs. And of course, you have the Juarez cartel and the Sinaloa cartel. You have different factions within those cartels. You have um, it gets a little complicated to understand. The one thing that you have to know is that there are groups that are fighting for power over how to steal, how to traffic. They have larceny in their heart. That's what it is, and they have no fear of God, which is the one fear that we're supposed to have. And so we're coming on very late because of this breaking news and so much more. Today, Sunday, they had this weekend, the No Kings, and, it was really, um, I don't even want to use the word humorous because it really isn't funny, but you have to use humor to get through this, right? Because the hypocrisy is is just, uh, you know, off the charts. The hypocrisy is off the charts for Representative Veronica Escobar and County Judge Ricardo Samaniego. Um, wow. I'm just going on to check, and we're over 9,000 followers, which means that we have a lot. Thank you, Laura, for coming on so late. It's 1 a.m. in the morning, but it has been just that kind of weekend with the No Kings rally that I think really did not produce what they wanted. Um, because their playbook doesn't work anymore, does it? For so many, we're not divided like they wanted us to be. they wanted to divide us. But because we are seeing through their playbook, because we're seeing their corruption and how it has hurt all of our families, all of our lives, all of our paychecks, our bank accounts, right? How it has hurt our communities, how it has hurt our environment. And so it has brought us together, and absolutely the division that they want to sow, didn't happen the way they wanted it. And of course, now we are rallying behind President Trump. Not because President Trump, of course, he's not a king. They wouldn't have, they couldn't have indicted him if he was a king. He got the vote, he got the mandate, he absolutely went through an election. He worked very, very hard to get through an election, unlike what Veronica Escobar and Ricardo Samaniego did as county judge. They absolutely put a crown on each and every one of those imposters in the El Paso Criminal Law Magistrate Court. It is absolutely important for everyone to know this, that there is no recourse um, other than what we are suggesting when it comes to these imposters, these criminal imposters that Veronica Escobar and Ricardo Samaniego have crowned. They have crowned them royalty in El Paso. And the reason why there's no recourse is because how are you going to get them out? How are you going to get them out if there's not an election, right? How are you going to get them out if they don't fall under, I mean, they're not following, they're criminals, they're not following the Texas Constitution. And so these imposters, we need to get accountability, right? And that means each and every one of them needs to go to prison for what they did, because we have been shouting this violation, this constitutional violation, for a long time now. I need to go check back when we first placed the Christina Sanchez referral. That's what is that in a year old, right? So they absolutely know, these imposters absolutely knows that they are imposters, right? It's not oversight. It's not like, oh, I didn't know, and Veronica Escobar was just giving me my paycheck, and then Ricardo Samaniego, he gave me the paycheck, and so I just thought, oh, I didn't understand that. We have full countywide jurisdiction, and so, I'm supposed to be voted in. They can't plead ignorance at all now, because we have been shouting this for a long time. And of course, they should have absolutely spoke up by now and did the right thing. This has been going on, this fraud, this election fraud, and that's what it is. This election fraud that Veronica Escobar allowed in order to, with Ricardo Samaniego, to crown these imposters royalty, has been going on since 2015, and has disenfranchised the El Paso County voter since 2015. Okay, so this is a whole decade they've been up to no good. And over 5 of those years is Richard's case, which really explains the leaks and the cover up, and their criminal actions. Um, so in the Walmart mass shooting case, and in Richard's case, and in more cases, right? So this has to be addressed, and the hypocrisy, the hypocrisy. Um, is just like off the charts. And they need to be held accountable for what they've done because they absolutely know about our son's case. They absolutely know about us. They know that we have been fighting for 5 years, that they have been obstructing us from figuring out what happened to our son. We figured that out without their help, just like the CIA now arrested La Plato. I think that's his name, La Plato. Um, and I'll get more of that as we learn it. I'm doing everything from heart right now, and it's just so much information. Um, uh, but the point is that the CIA is absolutely working in Juarez, because absolutely, I told everyone that it is confirmed that Richard was murdered in the line of duty. It is absolutely confirmed that his remains were taken over to Juarez. It is confirmed that he is a whistleblower and decorated hero of our country, and even more so. A- and and so the situation and that they had Richard's remains, that they have Richard's remains, and so the what's going on right now is the very vicious negotiations for the repatriation of his remains. That's what's going on right now. And so for the CIA, who can get more vicious than the CIA? For the United States, it's the CIA, right? And of course, that their base is right there in El Paso at the Epic. The Epic, remember, the Epic that's tied to FitFem El Paso, right? To FitFem El Paso. That we, that I mean, we've done so much in all of this and revealed how this system works. And of course, the media plays such a big part in the hypnosis to allow this criminal operation to operate. And it is interesting that, with all of that, it's like one big Goliath, right? That we have been able to uncover what we have. And that's why I tell people, oh, you better believe in angels because angels, they're your big partners behind the scene that nobody knows. And today in church, um, today's lesson uh, from our Bible study was absolutely about how the angels are partner servants with us, and they just do amazing things. And there's been so many miracles in all of this to reveal what has been going on. And I just have to say that some people that don't have faith, that don't believe in angels, they, might, roll their eyes up at me. But I want to give glory to God. Really, I want to give glory to God in all of these discoveries and for this arrest of this Sinaloa kingpin. I guess you'd call him a kingpin. Yeah, this leader that you know, with all odds against to get him arrested, he was arrested, and it's very interesting to hear the story, and I'll explain it more tomorrow. That he was arrested, really good news, and um, because these negotiations to get Richard's remains repatriated are vicious, right? There's so many that don't want it to happen, but there are so many that do. And we have a lot of institutional help, and we also have the help of the heavenly hosts. And I want to make that clear to people because when they look at these evil the evildoers, they get a little bit intimidated. They get a little bit intimidated, and they feel like that this Goliath is too big, that they can't get justice for their family member, for their friends, that they can't ever make any changes in Juarez or in El Paso. And I just want to say, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. They're not big. They're not big compared to what we have, right? If you're faithful, what we have, working from a position of victory with our partners in the heavenly hosts. And what that does is, it's like a sanctifying effect that reaches out to so many people, and the people then want to be part of it, and then they give you leads, and things happen that you only know that a heavenly host must have ran after one of these criminals and tied them up, and made them talk. This is what's happening right now. And so it might seem very big, this legacy of corruption that Veronica Escobar has given us, with the legacy of corruption that Ricardo Samaniego has left us. And it is absolutely terrible, and they need to be held accountable for what they've done and what they didn't do, what their duty is to do, because they are paid by taxpayer funds, and what they didn't do and what they should have done, and their betrayal of their oath, and the betrayal to the people there in El Paso County and the American people. And you know but don't be and that all needs to happen. And that's why there's audits taking place right now. The FinCEN, which is, following the money, the FinCEN following the money. That's what's happening right now. And also the EPIC, right? The CIA. And, you can say, oh, there's infiltrators in there and everything. Not as much now, right? Not as much. I mean, it is there. The mutiny is there, and that's why you see this vicious battle to get Richard's remains. But there's also other things happening with the rare earth minerals, that battle, with the stealing of fuel, that battle, with, of course, all of the trafficking that can get really, really evil, y'all. I mean, it gets so evil. It's like the pit of hell. And that's what's going on right now. And but of course, Richard's case is a U.S. Army soldier, and it's very big. It's really big. And so I want everyone to have faith that things are really happening. Um, look at what we've exposed with Michael Mayella, the Michael Mayella Patrick Crucius family connection, the Mayella Crucius family connection, and absolutely Veronica Escobar. And I didn't put Veronica Escobar on there, and I should have, with Samaniego, that absolutely knows, um, because of this. Even though there's, like, I think there's over 800,000 people that live in El Paso, but the leadership is much smaller, right? It's very small. It's only couple hundred individuals, and so they're very tightly woven. It's very tightly woven, and they all know who's who, because that's their job, to know who's who and what's going on, and intelligence and everything. And so um, they all knew that Mayella's and the Crucius were one family, and they obstructed justice. It's really that bad, and allowed millions and millions of dollars to be spent on the defense of Patrick Crucius, with this open checkbook from the taxpayers, which is, they need to pay. All this stuff needs to be paid back. It really does. They owe so much money because of their theft. And, the Bible, I love the way the Bible handles theft. If if you steal, just for an example, if you steal $100, not only do you have to pay it back, but you have to double it. You have to pay back 100 and then another 100 for the penalty. Okay, so that makes it $200 that you have to pay back. But if you steal, like, let's say, a cow that is gives milk, then you need to, I think it's four times back. So it's the price of the cow plus four times that, because that cow produces, it's a livelihood for that farmer. And so uh, and that goes to, um, that's a precedent that can be related to many situations. So, Ricardo Samaniego, he closed down so many small businesses, and that needs to be paid back. They need to pay back these small businesses that they destroyed, and what, fourfold for a penalty. It is really uh, terrible, the lives that they have taken, um, because of the environment that they have built, the corruption, the legacy of corruption, and then meeting with the Plenitude Crematorium to help, to defend, to impersonate a judicial officer. So I think Ricardo Samaniego is in big trouble. I think he has so many, and I'm not even done putting together the legacy of corruption, because I'm going to put together the Mario Raskin Ortiz, the chief medical examiner, who gets for El Paso County, who gets like almost $500,000 a year from taxpayers, and his H-1B visa is illegal, and he violated that on top of it. And so he is absolutely unqualified for that position. And he's been in that position for quite a while because of Veronica Escobar. So this is, all of that needs to be put out. But I think the big breaking news today is that we have confirmation that the CIA is working over in Juarez. And I don't know if that's a good thing that we know that. That's public information now. And so I wanted to break that to everybody here, because um, it confirms what we have said, that we have been right all along, that we have amazing institutional support right now, that the work is to um, negotiate the repatriation of Richard's remains. And so that is, you know, um, and, you would think, oh, that might take a long time. But you know what? We have President Trump in the office right now. He doesn't take a long time for anything, does he? He doesn't take a long time. I think that we are looking at. I think it's vicious, and I don't want to put a timetable on it. I did do a prediction about General Kelly. General Kelly being indicted next, and I'm really praying for that one. That's why I put the prediction out. Maybe some people will be seeing that and acting towards that, because that needs to be done. I mean, he is absolutely a traitor, totally a traitor. And there's more, of course, Sean Bernabe and McConville and Mealy and Donna Martin and David Stewart. I mean, they shouldn't be anywhere near our soldiers. They should not be in uniform. They cannot be trusted. They are absolute traitors. And I would say James Eisenhower and now General Curtis. He's commanding general of El Paso. He should not be anywhere near any of our military posts, anywhere near our soldiers, anywhere near our weapons or anything. He cannot be trusted. He is a weak weak, like a cooked noodle, right? He's a weak cooked noodle. He has no backbone and no love for the United States. And so, yeah, I just think that these people are traitors, and and I know that Pete Hegseth, he has a lot going on, but I have to express that so that he knows, and I think he does know. So that's, I know it's very late tonight coming on, but um, it's really breaking news all over the place. And to have Veronica Escobar, say, "Oh, we don't want any king," or whatever. She's so hypocritical. She is, mirror, mirror on the wall. That's all she cares about is, who's the fairest of them all. That's all. She doesn't care about El Paso. She doesn't care about doing her duty. Of course, she does care about Woody Hunt, the Mormon faction power broker for El Paso. That's totally up to no good, who funded her and, all that. Um, and he plays, he's a charlatan, so he'll play many different roles. He'll take different colors and everything like that, to confuse and to deceive. He's absolutely a deceiver. So that's our position for tonight. It's huge. And I just want to say thank you so much. And look, we got 9,000 followers. That's, thank you so much. And we love you. And Rob, he says, don't forget to say that we love them, because without all the support, of the people, by the people, for the people, going forward to drive our government to do the right thing. It requires of the people, by the people, for the people, to drive them to do the right thing. And without you, that wouldn't be possible. And so we know that, and we're very, very grateful, very grateful. Um, yeah, so thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back. Please share everything to bring more people, fellow servants. Tell them that we have heavenly hosts on our team. We have heavenly hosts on our team. And so, yeah, thank you so much. Share that information so that more people can join. Thank you. God bless.